Hello and welcome to the COVID 119 podcast. My name is Elvis and joining me is Michael.
Oh, we have a new intro. I like that. Thank you, Elvis.
And across the interwebs is Dylan.
Hey,
Dilsey. We're coming to you live from the Fulham bunker, Michael.
Oh, that's right. I just got smacked in the head. Elvis, you can't do that shit.
Oh, dude, that's right in the back of the head too. Dirty.
Oh.
And Michael, this is the one.
The one we are back from the bye.
We are. We're all back from the bye. Last week, because there was a bit of chatter, we were thinking about maybe trying to look at a bit of all Australian stuff and a few bits and pieces last weekend, and we all got on the group chat on Sunday and went, look, are we rocking up this week? And we decided we'd all be better for the bye deal. So yeah.
I don't have a problem having a week off. I drank more wine than I probably should have. All's well that ends well, mate. Back, baby.
That's it.
Back with a win, mate.
We are.
It's across the border.
Yeah, second win at the G this season.
Dylan, can you speak up a little bit if you can, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Is
Yeah.
that better?
Oh,
That is better.
Ooh, that was
you-
deep and sexy. Jesus.
Okay, well, as his brother, you really can't say that, but
Oh.
that was deep and sexy.
You're sexy Dan Curtin.
Oh, that's a nice little segue. Now, that's got to be his best game in the tricolours.
It is. I think it's more. It's a statement. It's an announcement game, and we all knew Dan had some talent behind him. But gee whiz, he was unbelievably good at the G, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Um,
He ran it.
Nothing better than signing an extension 3-year deal and then putting in that sort of a performance. So really happy with it.
100%, and that was probably the big news on the bye was that we signed up Dan Curtin for the next 3 years. So that's outstanding news because he was one that I was really hoping was going to stick around, and I really do hope that he's in for the long haul with this club because he is going to be a key cog in the machine as it moves forward. So 3 years exciting and. Not bad on the weekend, mate. 2 goals, 26 possessions, operating at I think 80-ish% efficiency. So I think we've got a real player there. We've got a real player, is what I would say. Already, the text line is quacking.
We do. The text line is open. Sorry to interrupt, gentlemen, but this one is from Mr. Braden. It says, sucked in Timo Tom Lynch.
Timu Tom Lynch, yeah. It's funny that might appear actually a bit later in the Twitterverse. So,
He's got another one. He
Yeah.
says, may allude to something popping up a bit later, that 2 curtains are better than 1.
It is. Ooh,
I actually like Nixie's comments for once, and I don't listen to the coaches a whole lot, but I did listen to him, and I love the fact that he said, well, if someone's getting annoyed and pissed off, then our guys are doing their job, or they're doing something right. I actually like it. I actually felt like this week was a little bit of a swing in momentum with the Crows. I don't know, I think this is it. Like we said in breaks, I think they've gone away and they've embraced it, and they dished up something really special with the G's on Sunday, and I don't know, guys,
Are we ready?
No.
I'm starting to get excited, but it's not coming off.
No. I've got my leaders off mantra.
Okay.
So when we get to my turn, I will tell you the 2 things that need to happen for the lid to be off.
All right. Well, before we get to that, Ned, we already started talking about it. Now, I'm a little bit sick and tired of the bullshit that's gone on with this Tom Lynch incident. You're a veteran, and to throw a punch like he did, albeit it was a piss weak punch, so good on you, Tom Lynch. Soft, like what a wanker. But it's a bad look for the game. He's absolutely spat the dummy because he's being held. You know what? In this day and age, Dylan, we grew up proper freaking defenders. You can't do anything as a defender these days. So for him to sit there and have a cry about, I'm being held. Defenders can't do shit. You just look at a forward these days, you give a free kick away. So to sit there and have a sook about how he's being held whenever, man up. You're a veteran. You're a veteran in a very young Richmond team now.
Yeah.
And you go and do that. That's the example you're setting. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, to spit the dummy like he did, absolutely piss weak, utterly pathetic in my opinion. And we've just found out he got 5 weeks. Probably 1 week. Probably 1 week less than what he probably should have got. He should have got an extra week for just being a complete sook. So, you know what, Tom Lynch, grow up, mate, because that's pathetic.
What shits me about it too is the interviews they do during the game, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I apologise at half time. I let my team down," and wank. It's just it doesn't fly for me. It shouldn't have happened. It's dirty. We don't do that anymore. It should have been probably more than what it looks. And you know what? If the club had any balls, they'd just stand down for the rest of the year and say, "We're not copping that."
Yeah, and I'm gonna firmly, and I don't know if you've got a DAG organised, mate, but I've got one right now for the AFL because I'm so sick of the bias that comes from the AFL. Now, I got a little notification popped up on my phone during the game, and so I screenshot it because I was so filthy. Now, this is what the discourse that's being dished out from the AFL. It says Lynch in hot water is the heading, and then it says Tiger on report for deliberate swinging arm as frustrations boil over. No, AFL. Deliberate swinging arm? He's thrown a punch at a defender who was killing him on the day. Now that's a typical type of discourse that I've come to expect now against our team with the AFL. You know, that's the whole thing about, you know, how a white person, you know, when we had Cyclone, I'm going Big D discourse here, Michael. You know, there's the Cyclone Katrina in South America, in bloody, what's it called? New Orleans. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we got an image of a white person getting some stealing stuff from a shop, right? But a white person we've got here is going, oh well, they're collecting food to feed their family. But if the same image of a black person doing the same thing, they're looting the store. Like this is the type of Big D discourse that fucking shits me with the AFL. So I understand that we're one of those whipping boy teams, but because it's, you know, one of the beloved sons of the Richmond Tigers, you know, like who's thrown a fucking dirty punch. Sorry, I'm cussing too much. Thrown a dirty punch, but it's a frustrated, deliberate swinging arm. I guarantee if it was Geordie Butts who threw that punch, the discourse would be very, very different coming from the AFL. And I'm sick and tired of this bullshit, and that our club is the whipping boys of this sort of stuff. I'm bloody over it. I'm absolutely over it. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, but I just wanted to bring that up because I was so filthy when I read that. I thought, typical AFL bullshit. Grow up, AFL.
There's one other thing I took from it, and I don't condone this either, kids, if you're listening. However, the Keane and Worrell, who finally were remonstrating over things, and they went in there, they batted for it, and it was on, right? And I love that because in years gone past, we haven't done it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a change in the mentality, it's a change in the sight for Adelaide. We have to be taken as a serious deal.
Yeah.
But I agree with everything you said about the Tom Lynch stuff. It's absolute rubbish. Yeah.
And even
Way
like,
you look at it doesn't make for good viewing.
what's the old St Kilda coach? What's his bloody name?
Which one?
Yeah, good call. One of them got the arse. I can't think of his bloody name. Thomas.
Grant Thomas.
Grant Thomas. Even he's coming out going, oh well, you know, it's the umpire's fault because they're not protecting him and all this sort of. What a bunch of bullshit. Man up, mate. What are you, 6'8"? Like seriously, just step up and take a grab. Like utterly pathetic. Now, boys, I do have a serious question though. Is Max Michelani the best forward we didn't know we have?
My boy.
Because
You know what? I'm just going to say, I feel like that was, and I'm going to be very careful because Michael might prick his ears up, that was like a Shane Ellen moment.
oh yes.
Isn't it?
So you can do that shit and I can't lift the lid.
And I always feel like that was a card that we should have kept
Yep.
for a prelim or a grand final because I feel like, it's almost like Nixie's just going, guys, I'm just going to throw this flaming ace here and now I'm never going to unleash it to the finals, but just so you know,
Yep.
Max is going forward, he's going to kick it back and go.
Yeah. It was hilarious, man. Like when he took that mark in the goal scope for that first goal, the note I've got Maxie's first goal, and I'm going straight away and going. So this is how sad it is, but I went straight away. I wonder what that was paying for Max Michelani to kick the first goal of the game. It would have been paying all right. But then by the time he's kicked his third, even Michelani, when he kicked that third goal, and just quietly, beautiful kick for goal.
The
But
second one was
Yeah.
Both legs now, mate.
When he slotted that third one, even Michael Andy was shaking his head, laughing, going, "What are we doing here, boys? This is crazy."
Yeah.
So well played, Michael Andy. Brilliant game.
Okay, so we've got some more correspondence
Yep.
on the text line.
Okay.
This one comes from your mate Elijah.
Hey, Elijah.
Saying that Kurt looks like a monster.
He is.
I'm just paraphrasing here because they've sent through some things. Draper could be that mid next year. Once he gets in.
Yep.
What else are we saying? But should have subtext over Rochelle. Murphy is a waste as a sub. And then Mr. Collins has just come in saying that Murphy is a waste, full stop.
Oh, Jesus, that's harsh.
I guess that's very G-rated. That we've said much worse.
It is. Oh, well, 100% we have. But I think the one with Rochelle, and that was an interesting one because clearly we were in a position again where we had the game in hand. Nixie came out and said, look, Rochelle is, had a bit of soreness. So, and I love the fact that he was pissed off about it and he was sitting there, he dropped his lip on the sidelines because he was, because to be honest, he's probably sitting there going, Nixie's just cost me a bag because he already had 2 by half time and he's probably thinking there's a few goals to be had here. But I don't hate it either. When you're in that fortunate position that you can rest some players that might be a little bit underdone or they are carrying a bit of soreness, it's a long season, do it. And I know... Yeah, 100%. It's the right call.
Yeah.
And I think too, and I'm gonna jump straight in here because I've got it. This is in my other news, but I'm calling it out. The text bashing has got to stop, and it's got to stop now because he was really rusty in that first quarter and did some really untext like things. So he got plenty of the ball. I think he had maybe 6 or 7 possessions in the first quarter alone. But he probably turned the ball over 5 or 6 times in those 6 or 7 possessions, which is really unlike him. And then straight away there on the freaking the Twitter sphere, rag. I'm like, we're not doing this again. All right. Every problem is not a text problem. Yes, he's an older member of the team, and he's not going to be as agile as he was maybe 3-4 years ago. But can we just call our freaking jets? Like, seriously, there's no need to be ripping into text if he turns the ball over once or twice. Like, seriously. So,
yeah, are we that light to forget what he's done for the club?
Correct.
For all those years.
Like, he is going to go down as one of the greatest Crows ever.
Yep, he's keeping himself fit. He's kicked 2 goals to 16 disposals. I don't have an issue with his game whatsoever. People just need to just relax, take a back seat.
Yeah.
Because what we need right now is Taylor having as many shots of goal as he can, so when we get to the point here, Tex is kicking a bag rather than kicking 0 and not affecting the game.
Yeah. And he's also delivering it to the other players. And admittedly, there were a few people that sort of tried to retract some of their bullshit statements by the time we got to the 4th quarter because, after quarter time, he turned his game around and actually played okay. And but just, I get it. He was having an ordinary quarter, but can we just stop the hyperbole? And there was a few comments made about about how selfish he is, and he's just trying to get to a milestone. Fuck, no, stop being wankers. All right, you come across as just being dickheads. Stop it. Okay, if he gets to his milestone this year, it's because he's worked his ass off and taken care of his body, and he freaking deserves it. And if he doesn't get there, that's also fine. But Jesus Christ, can we just lay off him? He cops enough shit from every other dickhead in the AFL. Can it not come from his own freaking fans? Like, seriously.
And it's I'm going to change the pace on you a little bit. It's no coincidence that we play really good football now that Peterling's back again.
Oh, 100%. And Dylan, the games that he missed and we lost... It was very clear, because I raised it on the podcast, that when he is out of the team, we look a different team.
Yeah.
Where our midfield struggles now without Peatling in the team. So he's definitely added another element, which I'm super excited about, because when I found out he wanted to come to us, mate, I couldn't have been happier. I thought that was another steal that we got from the Giants.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, his partner in crime was good as well this week too, by the way. I know his stats don't read that he had a wicked game, but the things that he did were just really, really important, and he's so calm, Isaac Cumming. We just look so well balanced at the moment, honestly. If we can now just stay fit and tick over the Saligos and whatnot when we get to that, pointier end, look out. And everyone is taking note in the AFL that they'll all be looking at going, how the hell did Dan slip to 14?
Was he that deep?
No,
I think it was like pick 8 or something. Yeah, pick 6 or 8 or something. Yeah.
He was way later than that.
No, I reckon it was. Yeah, I think it was pick 8 that he got to us. It was a bit of a bit of surprise to us. I think did we move up to get him as well because he was slipping.
He was the one we wanted.
And that was just because West Coast obviously had pick 1 overall, took Harley Reid, and
there were concerns over his knee. I think I read through that a lot of people thought we won't take the risk. But gee whiz, wow.
But if try that again, Jared. If West Coast had picked 2, they would have taken him at 2. So for him to slip down to 8 to us was an absolute steal. So I'm so pleased he's re-signed.
Yeah. His reading of the game, his intercepting is just on another level. And then he goes forward and kicks goals. But when he intercepted that ball and then delivered the lace-out kick too, that's elite footballer written all over it.
And how about the spoil, running with the flight of the ball, gets smashed. So in that third quarter, he's running with the flight of the ball, gets smashed, straight back up. So there's your courage right there. So much fun to watch. Dylan, you mentioned Saligo. There's 2 things I want to say about Saligo. Now, the first thing is the no high free kick to Saligo was an absolute joke. Now, I get, and probably this is a bit of good old Vol Wankno over here, Cornsey, with his bullshit about the Crows the next Hawthorn and this sort of stuff. I get it. Saligo's one of the boys who got the team that will raise the arm at every point. But if your tackle starts over the shoulder and then you sling him down by ripping him over the shoulder towards the ground in 2 motions, that's 2 times the free kick. The fact that the umpire said play on in that instance is an absolute disgrace. And secondly, and Dylan, I'm going to probably hurt your feelings a little bit here. Saligo's had about 8 weeks now where he has not overly performed well. Is he almost at a point where it's like, go back for a couple of weeks, get 35 possessions in the SANFL and come back raring to go?
Yes.
I think if you're going to do it, you do it right now.
That's what I mean.
If you don't do it now, you're not going to do it against the heavyweights that are lining up for us in the not too distant future. But I tend to agree. I think now's the time.
Yeah. Just for his own confidence?
Yeah, he's had a break. He's come back against, let's face it, a poor Richmond side.
Yep.
Still is ineffective and hasn't put a stamp on a game where you probably would think he's going to have at least 25.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think this is the week. They just say, mate, maybe just go back and get a 40 or a couple of them and then come rolling back in.
Because I'm a Saligo fan, and Dylan, you're a big Saligo fan, and that's why I'm asking you. Because were you disappointed with what he showed up with on the weekend?
Yeah, I think I've been quietly disappointed for a little while.
Yeah.
Even when he gets to 20, he's still not lighting it up.
Nah.
I don't know. This is a bit of a lull for him this year, and every week you go a little bit further along, you think, is this the week he's going to bust out? But he's not.
Yeah.
And it'd be a concern if he keeps playing like this all the way to finals.
Yeah.
We can talk about finals because we're going to be there. But I think on the ladder, towards the end, if he's still playing this sort of football, it'd be more of a concern carrying him into finals footy. So you either drop him now or you don't, and you've got to make that decision.
Yeah, I agree.
If you go back in the stats last year, he did something quite similar. His second half cooled off considerably.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously it's tough work being an AFL midfielder these days, and you are building that tank. I'm trying to think, is he into season 3 now? Is this only season 3 for him?
I think it's 3.
Yeah, it would be season 3.
Yeah, it's definitely not his second year, so I'm pretty sure he's a 3rd-year player. So he's young and he's still learning his craft, definitely. And he'll look. I'm not saying he should be dropped, I guess, but I am starting to pose that question of just for his own confidence, would it be worthwhile him going back, ripping a few SNFL clubs a new arsehole and then come back raring to go? I don't know. I mean, we're not in the same, so I don't know how his psyche works, but I I just feel like he's been underwhelming. Because he started the season and Dylan, no more than you, was singing his praises highly. But his last 8 weeks have been pretty underwhelming, and we're just waiting for him to pick up a gear, and he hasn't done it yet. So, I don't know.
It's his fourth year, by the way.
It's his fourth year, is it? Okay.
Yeah, his debut was 2022.
Oh, okay, fair enough then.
So he's nearly a 100-game player for the Crows.
Yeah, well, in that case,
You want to get a
you want to pull your finger out, Jake.
Yeah. I tend to agree. Something doesn't seem right, and you can't see him playing a role that's affecting his game, so it has to be his game.
Yeah.
And, mind you, he's still 22, he's young.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's now time to give him a couple of weeks rather than at the pointy end when we're really going to need him.
Because I agree, I don't want to see it happen then. I don't want to see him rock up to finals and we get to finals and then they drop him. That's ridiculous. Because I think realistically he's a 250 game player. I think he's got a massive future with the club. So I don't want to. I only want to help him improve. I'm not trying to punish him by any means. Now I've got here too. Oh no, I mean I'm going around in circles a bit here too, but it was a great game by Butts. It was actually a great game by defence. I know it was against a fairly hapless Richmond, but between Worrell and Keane and Geordie Butts, you can't see Muzz getting back in the team at the moment.
No. No.
Do you know? I'll give you an interesting stat with Worrell. So this season, the Crows have scored 84 points from Worrell's intercept possessions.
Yeah, I saw that today.
He ranked first in the AFL.
He's amazing. He's got to be all-Australian contender.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He's had an amazing year. And Dylan, you mentioned it before too, but, when we started, because, you said we really didn't have any fight back for years, and it was kind of Tex was a lone hand for a lot of... For several years there, where if something happened, he'd be the only one that would step up and throw his weight around. Since Worrell's come into the team, Worrell's got that dog in him, man. He's one of the boys straight away that is like, if you touch any one of my boys, I am at you, and I love that about him.
And even though he's almost half the size of
Yep.
just Pythons, I think he went back twice actually to have a piece of him.
Yep.
So no, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yeah. Now, I've got... I'm ripping into Richmond tonight.
No, I want to hear more about your friends, actually.
My friends?
Yes, with your contacts, actually. With Nazaya.
Oh. Well, I said what I said. That's all I've got at the moment.
I want you to do some homework.
Do some homework. All right.
Yeah.
I'll ask some more questions.
Yeah.
The crowd. Just over 23,000. Now,
what crowd?
This is my point, Michael. Now, this is a team that since 2017 has won 3 premierships. They're one of the biggest clubs in the country. What's it called?
Are you there, Richmond fans?
Sprouting the most memberships in the AFL. Oh, we've got 120,000 fucking members. Where were you? Screw you guys. You guys have won 3 flags in, 4 years? And now that your team is starting to rebuild a bit, you can't back your boys in? Mate, we stuck fat. We lost the grand final to you arseholes in 2017, and we still stuck fat with our team through those shit years. And we still rocked up every year.
He went through as well, right?
You know, I don't care. There are people who haven't
Haven't what?
stuck, and they're scrambling now. And I'm not going to name names.
Oh, that's cool. But what am I
But
saying?
I'm just saying there are people that are now scrambling.
Yeah, goods.
And it's like,
Eat shit.
suffer any jocks, bitches.
No, even when we were shit, we were still hitting 35,000 of because we're always that sort of the 45s. When we're running hot, we're mid 40, mid 40s.
When I'm allowed to lift this lid.
But how can you go from having 70 plus thousand there every week to now only being 23,000? And of that 23,000, probably a good 5 of them were our own supporters. You're a disgrace, Richmond fans. I'm coming at you. You are a disgrace.
Fair weather support.
100%.
Okay, you need a cold shower tonight. You need a cold shower.
No, I'm fucked off. 3 flags they got you. 3 flags, and you can't even back them in for a couple years? Piss week for Richmond fans. Piss week. Alright, now that I've got that
Someone
on.
needs a cold shower.
Now, while I'm fired up, I want to share a bit of love. Now, did you guys see in the Adelaide Crows cheer squad. It is the dirtiest, most majestic blonde mullet you've ever seen.
No, there's no majestic in
Now,
that.
he was up there waving his flag, and the cameraman knew exactly what he was doing. He was locked in on this bloke. He didn't look away. And he was standing there waving his flag, and as he was waving his flag, his beautiful blonde locks were just flapping in the breeze. It was the most majestically dirty mullet I've ever seen, Michael.
No, you can't put majestic in there. It's...
Clearly, he's an expat. He lives in Melbourne because you don't see too much of that around here.
Never seen it before in my life, but I was just, when I saw it, I was like, no. Mullet. Look, Michael, we can't say much about haircuts, you and I.
There's not a whole lot of hair on this podcast.
There isn't. But man, oh man. Woo!
Okay.
Alright, I'm done with the game.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've been a bit fired up tonight.
You are?
A bit of, obviously, I'm just, you know.
I think it's the most rolled up I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, a few things have pissed me off this week, so, you know.
Okay. So I'm gonna take some moment now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mentioned the lid moment,
Yes.
which there are graphics.
Yes.
And there is audio.
I know you've got content
there
ready to
are
go.
audio visuals ready to go, and they fucked me off. 2 weeks. Oh, we're playing them again. Jeez, that's quick. Okay, so these are my two lid scenarios.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So in the next few weeks, we've got Melbourne, Doggies,
Yep.
Suns, Port, Hawthorn.
Yep. A big 6 weeks really coming up. Because then we're away to West Coast, and then we're home to Collingwood.
Okay, so I've got some things. If they win,
Yep.
Suns, Port, Hawks,
Yep.
lid is off.
Mate, it won't be the only thing that you would have blown.
Lid is off. Mm-hmm. If they can go to Marvel
Yep.
and knock off the Doggies,
That's a big win.
lid is off.
Okay.
If they go Melbourne, Doggies, Gold Coast, Port,
Yep.
or drop one of Port, Hawks,
Yep.
lid is off. So that's my three.
So what you're telling me, Michael, is there's a very good chance that the lid is going to be off in the next 4 to 5 weeks.
Yes. I was wanting it to be much sooner,
Yeah.
but it is on. It is well and truly on.
I think you need. I think you need to wait till Hawthorn before the lid comes off.
No.
After Hawthorn, you can
No.
blow the shit off that thing as much as you want.
No, well, I want some weeks to enjoy it. I've only got one more home game after that. So across that month. So if we're going to be to take a quote from your book,
Yep.
a Norwich.
By the end of July.
Yeah, hang on. We're going to take a Norwich body of work. There's 4 very
Yep.
good games in there.
On the trot.
If they get 3 out of 4, she's off.
Hey, Dill. Now that what are your thoughts on the Dogs game, mate? We'll get to Melbourne in a minute because I've got some stuff I need to get off my chest about that as well. But what are your thoughts on the Dogs game, Dill?
From the weekend.
No, like for us coming up in 2 weeks' time, playing them at Marvel Stadium.
I rank them highly.
Yeah.
If we knock the Dogs off at Marvel, because I think we don't have a very good track record there either. Realistically, I think we've had a lot of close losses there. I believe the lid is firmly off after the Dogs game.
Yeah, that's what I thought you might say.
Dylan, I cannot
What
recall.
I'm saying is, I don't like Melbourne. Melbourne for me is a non-negotiable. We just rock up and get it done.
Yep.
I think if you steamroll the Dogs in the form that they're showing at the moment, the lid comes off because the grudge match is Gold Coast here. I can't see Porter getting so fucking desperate now. It's not funny. We're going to knock them off. I would like to sit back to Hawthorn and go, cool, we nailed all that. Let's celebrate. But then how can you celebrate a lid off against West Coast? I mean, I think if you beat the Dogs, then you beat them well.
Yep.
I think we're a serious flag contender.
I'm not taking anyone to West Coast.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Chase Jones is playing.
Yeah.
Schomburg playing.
Burgess, was it Sammy Burgess?
Burgess.
Yeah.
Chris Burgess.
Chris Burgess,
playing.
thank you, sorry.
Yeah, they're all McAndrew playing.
Yeah, McAndrew, yeah, let's get them all up.
They're all playing.
Yeah, do a good old Ross Lyon.
Now, you can back me up on this.
Yep.
I'm good with games.
Yes.
I can only recall us beating the Dogs once at Marvel, or the whole venue.
Was that the Michael Talia game, or what was that game?
No, that was the final.
Oh, that was the final.
I can only.
I don't think we're happy hunting against the Dogs whatsoever.
No, so in hindsight, maybe playing at Mars would have been a bit more equalising.
Yeah.
But I can only have us winning there once against the Doggies. It's not a happy hunting ground for the Crowies. Have we played at Marvel this year?
I don't think.
No.
Not that I can recall.
No.
The 2 Victorian games have been G. We got Bombers and on the weekend,
We've had
Richmond against at the
Collingwood.
G. Oh, in Collingwood at the G.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our 3 games in Victoria. Yeah, okay.
So we-
I think this is the first game.
I don't think I can ever picture a time where we weren't going to have a game at Marvel.
No, normally we would have played.
Because it would have been at Mars.
We haven't beaten the Dogs in Melbourne. Well,
Since-
on my phone here.
Since the final?
This goes back to 2016. We haven't beaten them.
Is that
Yeah.
the final? No.
Hang on, 15. Hang on, no. So 2014 was the last time we beat them in Melbourne. 83-92.
Wow, eh?
Is that the final?
Yeah. No.
No. Is that the Ballarat one? No.
The final, hang on. The final series we did beat them Melbourne, 102-109. Where was that though?
MCG.
That would have been
MCG. Yeah.
probably at the G. Like, so I reckon that was the Michael Talia
that
game.
was Texas kicked Charlie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, righto.
Yeah, talking about blowing lids.
Yeah. So I guess Michael too, really quickly.
Yes.
Because we kind of moved on from the game, but do we have an immunity medal voting?
We do. We had a record high people submit
Oh,
votes.
fantastic!
Yes.
Keep it up. Let's get it going.
We had 22.
Excellent.
So
It's building actually. That's good.
we were very pleased with that.
So I'm curious to see the votes. Dylan, can I ask what was your 3-2-1, Dylan, for the voting?
I think Dan is best on ground.
Yep.
Clearly. I'm going to sound silly now. I think I gave Riley maybe 2 or 1, and I can't remember who I gave the other bloody vote to.
No, that's okay.
I think it was Max.
Yeah. Yeah, so Maxie snuck in for a vote for me too. I went Phil Thorpe too, and obviously Dan Curtin, he picks himself for the 3-pointer. So, what about you, Michael?
Okay, well, it was very similar.
Okay,
So we've all mentioned Maxi in our votes.
Yep.
Didn't get a vote.
Oh, what?
So
He kicks 3 goals.
Yeah.
He kicks 3 goals and kept Vlosten to nothing.
well,
oh, that's harsh.
well, it's quite a good day to say this, but the tribe has spoken.
Yeah, okay. I'll shut up.
We're going to be axed.
Yeah.
If you get the reference. So
And you're getting axed.
it's my podcast. You can both be axed.
Oh, listen to it.
So we had 3 votes Dan Curtin,
Yep.
2 votes Riley Philthorpe,
Yep.
and 3 votes to Joshy Worrell.
1 vote, Joshy Worrell?
Yep.
1 vote. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
I actually think we've all underrated Miller's game as well, to be honest.
A little bit. He's strung a few good games together. Actually, his last month of footy's been really good.
I'm a very big critic of his, but
Yep.
he played it. I think he was just overshadowed with the whole Maxi moments.
Yeah.
And how often does a defender go forward and nail 2 beauties like that?
I know.
I'm with you. And keeping Boston out of the game of footy is hard to do. So yeah, I know Maxi gets in there for mine, but anyway, all good.
Because I was chatting to the Machino last night about it. We were having a bit of a laugh about Max. Because I love nothing more than when a defender goes forward and kicks a few. And it's nothing better, mate. Because I know coming off half back and you get forward and you kick a goal, and as you're jogging back to your position and you're just looking at the half forward flanker that you're playing on with that big cheesy grin, there's nothing much they can say. But yeah, Dad was Machino was the one that was because I said, why the hell was Max even up forward to begin with? But he was like, oh no, he had a job on Vlosten. So one of those cards, I guess now deal that Nixie can play if he needs to again. But with our forward line, because it's interesting, it's our forward line. The game before the bye, I think, was the first game we've gone all season where like our big 3 have remained goalless. But we're also the only team in the AFL to have 5 different players that have got 20 or more goals. What's that?
I was going to say that.
Well, here we go. So we got Filthy's leading the way on 33, Fog on 29, Rash and Keys. So Rash has moved up a fair bit recently too. So
And Fogg's been really quiet for a while.
He has.
I feel like 29's almost, that just feels like it's the wrong number.
It's a bit unders, isn't it? It's a bit unders. But Rash and Keys are on 25, and Tex rounds it out with 22. So the most any other team has got is 3, and the Crows... Yeah, Benny Keys has got 25 goals this year.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. So he's been popping up pretty regularly, and the next best in the AFL only has 3 with 20-plus goal kickers. So we have quite a well-rounded forward line. I do not know. I didn't actually take the time to look.
I would have liked you to quiz me.
I'll look it up. Oh, now I've got a question to put to you really quickly too, so I'll do that while I'm looking up. Now, Radelaide Rob tweeted out, because obviously we wore a red away Clash Guernsey in the weekend, and he goes, hear me out, Crows playing away should wear red shorts. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
That's very red.
No, I'm a traditionalist. They wear white.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's your home shorts, your blue shorts, or your colour shorts, and then away you wear white. But I thought that is an interesting thought, but it also makes too Gold Coast Sunsy for me. But I thought I'd at least put it to you boys to see what you thought.
I love the red Guernsey.
Yeah, I'd like the red Guernsey too. I like it a lot. Yeah.
I love it.
I like the reasoning behind it, wearing red shorts, but it would not do very good on the TV graphics.
Yeah.
It would be very stroby.
I don't think it makes for good viewing. I love white shorts.
Be terrible.
I'm a traditionalist. Yeah, I love the white shorts.
All right, so having a quick squeeze, boys. Geelong has Tyson Stengel with 20, Ollie Dempsey with 22, and then obviously they've got Jeremy Cameron leading the AFL with 48. So they're one team that has 3.
I love Dempsey just quietly.
Hawthorn also. Nick Watson now has 21. I think Chol must be up. Yeah, Chol's got 30. He's having a good year deal. And then obviously Jack Gunston has pulled himself out of that wheelchair and he's got 35.
Well, I did say I would like the Crows to have gotten Chol when you guys both rubbished me a few years ago. So
Yeah.
fuck you.
No, I stand by that. I'm still not interested. But it is actually Mitchell's doing a good job with him.
I like Chol, man.
Yeah. No, so I tip my cap to you, Dill. You saw something that I didn't really see because I thought he was a bit of a waste of space. And
I like Chol.
so yeah, but no, that's cool. I hear you. But yeah, so probably those are the 2 that have got 3 in the top. Well, 20 more anyway.
Taking a bit of a leaf out of Dylan's book.
Yeah.
Speaking of waste of space, Carlton.
Do we need to do this, boys? Come on.
No, I think we need to. You and I experienced that last week.
You know
All right.
what?
I thought...
Michael, I found the cure.
Oh, far away.
It's the Carlton Kangaroos.
I was waiting for that. You know what, Dylan? Look, I'm a realist, and Michael, we went to the.
Get real, they're shit.
You got to, and I was saying, I'm so glad I didn't pay money for those tickets because I would have been even more angry. But we sat in a little bit of a Coltony area. And there were some people behind us. They were drinking and having a good time. And even when they were standing up and cheering ironically and taking the piss, I couldn't even pretend. They said, "Oh, come on, get around." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, next goal, I'll stand up and pretend to cheer." I couldn't even be asked pretending to cheer. Now, Dylan, I know you guys have been super critical on Carlton this year, and it's all within reason. I don't think sacking Vossi is the right answer now I think about it, after I cooled down, because he's actually done a pretty good job with Carlton since he's come in.
He's not the problem.
But what I would say is that game was disgusting. There was no heart. I don't know where their heads were, maybe up their asses, because they were not interested in playing. They made Port, and don't get me wrong, Port played shithouse, but made Carlton Carlton made them look like an actual A grade grand final team.
That's probably the worst part about it.
I haven't seen a game that poor from Carlton since Teague
Last week?
No, seriously. I've seen Carlton play shit, and then there's a whole other level. This was
No, there's a whole other level of shit, because I'm
Like-
watching it too, just going, the fuck is going on?
because I think, Dill, you put a message into the group chat saying thank you, Carlton, for ruining Thursday night footy, and I couldn't disagree.
Carlton and Essendon.
It was the most piss weak performance.
Yeah.
It was the most piss weak performance that I've seen now. This is Carlton being historically bad type play. So I don't have much to say about Carlton at the moment. They've got to sort their shit out, and
Do you know,
it is what it is.
I am going to do a big dagger soon, and can I just say, right, I'm not going to say anymore, I don't even want to use the comment, however, Thursday night, Kangaroos versus the Dogs. I mean, come on.
I know. Why bother?
Come on.
Why bother?
That's bullshit, man. A
Yeah.
Roman fucking fixture or whatever they call it.
Yep.
Honestly, it's
Okay.
I'm just.
The NFL does it.
Hang on. I'm going to follow up your point there, Dill, with another excellent point. 2 games on Friday night.
Oh,
Why?
don't even get me
Why?
started on that.
Is it? So I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a stat here, and
Yeah.
so we've got 2 games. One of them is it Collingwood? No, I'm not taking the piss here. Is it Collingwood or Carlton? And the,
On Friday night?
second one is West Coast and
Oh, I
Giants.
guarantee it's a big one. Hang on, let's have a look.
Yeah, because then I've got a stat.
Yeah, it's Carlton Collingwood Friday night.
Okay, can you tell me which game has been the highest rated Friday night fixture this year?
Oh, was it one of the Brisbane ones recently?
You tell me which one.
I can't.
Open to you too, Dill.
On a Friday night game.
Pardon? Oh yeah, yep. Okay.
I would have said maybe Geelong Brisbane.
Okay, you're both round the mark, but no. The highest rated Friday night footy was Adelaide Brisbane.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting.
You know, that makes sense.
So if that doesn't tell those knobs running the league
Yeah.
that you do not need these
So-called
traditional
big. Yeah.
people just want to watch football.
Yeah.
And
Good football.
And I find
good
it
time slots.
completely disrespectful to. You can go with all 4 of those teams
Yeah.
on Friday night.
Yeah.
That not one of them gets equal billing.
Yeah.
You don't need 2 games overlapping. And then you go to Sunday,
Yeah.
2 games.
Yeah.
And what is it? Oh, don't even get me started.
But last week was the same. It was a fucking bye round and 4 teams have the week off.
Yeah.
We got 2 games on a Sunday and they overlapped.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Because one game didn't start until 2:45.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Like-
A fucking bye round and we got 2
Ridiculous.
games on
So-
one day that overlap.
Makes no sense.
Honestly, what is going on in Earth? It's coming.
Well, here we go. I'm on my.
Make sure that it's decent and it's steamed and it's coming because what is going on in that house?
Well, I'm going to get in before you, man. So in a past life, media and all that was my cup of tea. So you've got a multi-billion-dollar organisation that's took another record-breaking $1 billion TV deal. At the moment, you can't see free-to-air on Saturdays.
No.
So what's that going to do to your bargaining chip next time? And I'm not sure if you're following the story at the moment. The Seven Network has given up their regional South Australian licence.
Right.
So anyone outside of Metro and the wider Adelaide area, you don't get footy at all, unless you've got Fox or you go to the pub.
So like Central GTS BK
Yeah,
and
it's
Port
gone.
Lincoln where I
So
used to watch the
Port
footy.
Lincoln, no footy.
Wow.
Mount Gambier, no footy.
Jeez, you'd almost lose your head if you're in Port
Like-
Lincoln and with no footy.
You're talking about $1 billion empire, and they don't give any fuck.
Nah.
They've taken the money,
Yeah.
and you wait. They will. There's going to come a point where it's all going to be Foxtel.
Oh, 100%. It'll be
You know what?
KO.
It'll be worse than that. It'll
Yeah.
be one of the UK or Amazon Prime are going to want it.
It'll
that's-
be
it's
like
gonna-
the EPL where you could buy a subscription just to watch AFL.
At least with Fox, it's semi-flexible. Well, it's not
Yeah.
even Fox now. The UK, it's owned by UK.
Yeah.
It's going to be so out of reach, and it's going to be a broken, fractured league. And once those people are gone,
Yeah.
they're not coming back.
No.
Right.
So
And not everyone can afford pay
No.
TV. And you know, KO's not cheap.
no,
KO's not cheap
So-
for people.
you look at because it's an easy market. You look at elderly in retirement in nursing homes. How do they watch the footy?
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
So I know you're not listening to Dylan, but instead of having a round for everyone who needs a hug, how about you sort out your main issue and make sure you're getting football onto TV screens in people's homes?
I
Like
think-
out.
And and to your point, Deal, about your rolling fixture, and I keep bringing this up, but the NFL does exactly that. And if you've been fixtured in like in a time slot that goes across the country, and you're having a shit season, they pull you. They will yank you and they'll put you back on the Sunday Arvo like every other team, and they'll put the good teams into those time slots.
What's the time frame on that?
Couple weeks out?
So you say a month?
No, not even. I reckon it's less than that even.
3 weeks?
maybe 2 even. Yeah.
I mean, look, everyone's waiting for North Melbourne to do something.
Yeah.
You're giving them prime time Thursday night when this is probably one of the worst seasons they've ever put up.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're never coming. They're
Yeah.
never coming.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, all I've got left is my Twitterverse.
Oh, hang on.
Michael. So, all good.
Sound effect for that.
But no. So I've got here. Anyone else messaging in?
Well, that worked, didn't it? Keep talking.
You gotta love that song, Deal.
Oh, wow. Did you just play that from Twitterverse?
Yes, mate. All right, here we go. We don't boo. Actually, you know what? I'm not even ready. Here I am going, let's get it started. I'm not even ready myself. We don't boo. Okay. This is from Sheik Lou, Outlou the Jongro. Richmond fans booing Tex Walker while his opponent is a literal convicted criminal isn't lost on me. Small brains. Interesting being a Richmond supporter at the moment. It would be weird having... So you got Noah Bolter, and now we got Tommy... It's interesting, isn't it? It's a turn all right. So here we go. This is Cam Mark. Oh, it's a turn. It's a turn on all right is what I'm trying to say. Jeez, I'm sorry. I am proper week 10 cooked, Michael. Proper week 10 cooked. All right.
Are you guys on holiday soon? Or?
Yeah, it can't come soon enough. 3 more days. We're on a countdown. 3 more days. All right. This is from Cam Mark. So Campbell's back. Dawson's overhead marking is a turn on. How good was that mark? How good was that mark that he took in the forward line? And then he muffed it. He muffed the goal completely. But Jesus Christ, that's like what's the word I want? That is like
Discourse?
No, I've used that a bit earlier.
You have. I've tweeted that.
And I'm not trying to steal this from you, Joe, but it just clicked in my head.
Yeah.
Leo played under 9s at Hectorville on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Dad was amazed. He took a mark 3 deep from behind the pack.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
3 deep.
It was like, when she paid it, we're like, oh, she paid it to the man in front.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, I'm rewarding what he did. Like, it was like, and he's like, there with the ball. Like,
Oh, he's a beast.
No way you can take it, man.
He's a beast.
Sorry about that.
No, good. All right, let's get serious. This is John at JBabs84. If the AFL want to be serious, that's 5 weeks minimum. And Michael, tonight he was given?
He was given 5 weeks.
All right, good call, Jono. Statsman. All right.
We don't do stats.
Well, we don't. But this is a good one. This is half time. So this is not even a Crow supporter. Or, this is actually from a North Melbourne supporter. This is at Baz NMFC.
Thanks, Bazza.
Tom Lynch at half time. 3 fire emojis. That's how good he was going. 0 disposals, 0 marks, 0 tackles, 2 punches thrown, 5 free kicks against, and that is negative 15 AFL fantasy points. Is this the most damaging half of football we've ever seen? Hashtag AFL Tigers Crows. You are a flog, Lynch. Sort your shit out, bro. Disgraceful.
There's a New Zealand accent in there.
A little bit. Now, this is our favourite expat from across the pond, per se. It's a rather large pond to the Pacific, though, isn't it? So this is Beltway. Beltway's back. One Richmond Tool can't play next week because of his curfew from an assault off the ground. Another about to be suspended for another assault on the ground. What a disgrace of a club. I concur, Beltway. I concur. If you haven't listened to the pod, I was a little bit fired up before. There's only one. Okay, Senzu Bean, Reese. Oh, mate, Senzu. The only Tom Lynch I recognise. Dylan, check out which Tom Lynch he's pointing to, big fella. 10-goal Tom. I agree, mate. He was absolutely one of my favourite Crows for a long time. He was that linchpin. Actually, I'm going to throw it to you boys right now. Who is the new Tom Lynch? Who plays that role now? That connects forward to defence.
Yeah, I kind of reckon they are figuring they're working coming into doing that. But since Isaac Cummings come on board this year, I don't think we've had anyone really linking between.
Yeah.
The two.
It's a completely, we don't have, because I was thinking before, we don't really have someone that plays that role anymore, but man, when Lynchy was in the side, far out he played that role so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I feel you, Angry Crow. Right. So, on the weekend, Angry Crows fan tweeted out, he wrote, really worried about today. Nixie's record against Richmond is woeful. Don't care how we win, just bring the 4 points home. And given how close the ladder is, I'll probably feel like this for the rest of the year. So I didn't disagree because someone sort of fired back at him and he said, well, after 30 years at this club, I'm never confident. And the last time I was confident was Richmond at Adelaide Oval last year. Now, I didn't disagree too hard with him on this. I was confident that we were going to rock up and win on the weekend and do it relatively comfortably. But you have that haunting feeling
of dread
that we might just shit the bed at times as well. Because I remember when we played Richmond last year, albeit that this Richmond team is quite different to that Richmond team, they were on the way down last year, but not sort of in the doldrums that I feel like they were this year. It's a very different size still. It's a much younger, inexperienced team this year with a handful of veterans that are setting some really good examples for the kids. So it's a very different team this year compared to last year. But I remember when we left Adelaide Oval last year, I was fuming with that. It was like round 3 or something, or even round 2.
No, it was a bit later on in the year.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
No.
It was in the first 4 rounds. I guarantee you.
No,
it had to be. And we shat the bed completely. So,
Go.
Angry Crow fan, I don't blame you for having those feels, man, because as Crows fans, we kind of all have that nagging thought. And when we discuss Melbourne in a minute, I'm going to bring it back up again. All right, Butsy. So this is from Miller FC, or at FC Miller. Brilliant game by Butts. Going to be hard to drop him. Not always been his biggest fan, but fair play to him. When he keeps things simple and does his job, he's very effective. I would say too, his kicking's probably been a little bit better, or perhaps it's just more his keeping within himself with his kicking, because he's kind of one of those players that you kind of hold your breath a little bit when he goes to deliver the ball. But what I would say is that he found himself in space, and we did that that swinging across halfback very, very well on the weekend. But Butsy, he's doing his job, gentlemen. He's doing his job.
I think like Kenzie is really coming into his own too, where he's
Yep.
been really. So I think that's helping Butts come a long way as well now. We're not as sloppy down the back as we were.
Okay, my bad. I stand corrected. Michael, you've looked it up. Round 13. I could have swore it was really early in the season. All right, I'll stand corrected. You have my vote. All right, we are off to... Now, this is a brand new person, Michael. Grit. You follow him at Grit the Great. And he wrote, fuck it, Dan for Prime Minister. I'm in. Let's get him.
I'm in. That was easy.
Okay, FLOG. Now, Joel Constable's back, boys. Follow him at Joel_Constable. Only bigger flog than Lynch is the flogging Bucks has put on him. Burn, Lynch! Man, I feel sorry for Lynch at the moment. He's really copped an absolute, I would say, flogging tonight, but he has.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Sucked in, Lynch. Wanker. Alright, huge call. This is... Oh, Senzu Zine is back. Senzu Bean is back.
Mentions.
He has. But you know what? Not the Crow Listener of the Week, though, Michael. Dan Curtin is going to be absolutely terrifying when he's 23 plus. Ready for it, boys? Bontempelli like. Doesn't that make you cream? Ooh. Imagine.
Thanks.
Would you like your own tricoloured Bontempelli?
Yes.
All right, boys. We have a brand new Crow Listener of the Week.
Wow.
Can you do that again?
Oh, damn.
Do it again. Do it
And
again.
Dylan, she's a firecracker, mate. Now, this is Katie. Now, you can follow her at Katie Marie 1. Now, she sent a picture out via Twitter, and fuck, it made me laugh. Now, I'll put the picture up. So it says here, so it's one of those memes where you've got the Viking-looking dude. He's got the actually, Dylan, you probably have no idea. But he's got because you're not sure what Twitter is, but he's got the dude. He's got the nice short sides. He's got the big blonde beard, and he says here, and I'll forward. There you go, Dylan. It's up on the screen for you, mate. And it says there, "Thank you for changing my life." And right next to him was a picture of Dan Curtin, and with the subtext underneath going, "I'm literally Dan Curtin." I love that. I love that. Katie, I don't know if you're listening, but you're about to be a new listener, Michael. Because, Michael, Katie Marie, you are the Crovid listener of the week. Get around her, boys.
Thank you for sharing a visual material on an audio podcast.
I did my best. To describe it. Okay.
To be fair, Jared, I couldn't see it anyway because the camera doesn't work when you put it up. So it was rendered useless twice over. However, can someone please message Katie just to really let her know that she's won? And what does she win, by the way?
She notoriety on our podcast, Dylan.
Oh,
yeah.
I bet she's thrilled.
I bet she's listened to.
Now, you know what? I actually have to admit to something that I'm a little bit embarrassed about because I looked at the thing and I started looking because she had this comment and she's like I said, she's a bit of a firecracker. And she made me laugh with one of her comments, and then she put this. She posted this image of something she put herself on like a Facebook page, like the Crows forum, and then she's got a thing saying, "Well, this is what happens when you have too much to drink," and rah rah. And I was looking through, and she's had this picture of herself up. She was like a kid. And I reckon she's like 2 years old, and she's like, just so you know, she's been wearing the colours since forever. And so I've replied to that image, going, "Brought up right." Now, that makes me look like a complete creep because I don't know how long ago she put that tweet, but I completely broke some rules there, so I'm just going to apologise and went, "That's wrong."
Katie, I apologise for my brother.
Yeah, we all apologise.
He's not listened to the pod, but he's also stalking.
Yep. Because I completely did a stalkerish thing, and I was like straight away, and then not on top of that, but then some other people doubled down on my tweet and went, "Oh, absolutely, rah rah," and then I'm like, "Oh, I fucked up here, boys. Not good. Not good." So I'm going to own it. I didn't. It's like cringy, and yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on. So, boys, Melbourne.
You know when stuff like that didn't happen?
When before the internet?
No, when you're in Europe. Everyone's profiles are safe.
Oh, I can't believe I did it. Anyway, I did it, and you know what? Fuck it, I don't regret it. She was raised right because it could have been a lot worse. I don't. She was raised right. Good on you, Dad. You're a bloody legend. You raised a daughter right. Good man.
Dude, we're going to need a new intro next week.
Dad, if you're out there, please let us know you listen.
Yeah. All right. Now, boys, Melbourne, I've got to raise this. I feel like Melbourne has had our measure in the previous decade. I feel like they're one of those teams that even when Melbourne have been a bit shit, they've beaten us at home. So I'm going to just put it out there. I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive about the game this week. So I think it is a bit of a danger game for us. But Dylan, can you lighten my fears? What's going to happen this weekend?
We're going to fucking smash Melbourne. Bring it on, boys.
Michael, you're shaking your head.
No.
Boys, let me tell you.
Yep.
No.
It's not going to be easy, but we're going to get it done.
Okay.
And we ain't going to lose to Melbourne. We're past. That's not the Crows who we are now.
Yep.
Get on, boys. Come on.
No, I'm sticking to the mantra that's worked very well for the Crowies at the moment, and it's just
Because Michael,
just win.
You're often a bit of you get your ESPN happening, and you get these feelings.
No feeling.
No feeling this week.
Just they'll win.
It's a bit of a mare game.
Yeah.
We're going to get it done.
I'm going to put it into all the other baskets. Just win.
Yep.
Maybe not by too much. Not by under enough.
So you're thinking like it's going to be like a 4 or 5 goal in that sort of range,
Oh,
maybe?
fuck, no, it'll be more than that.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, all right.
Maybe between 7 to 12 is a good margin win.
Okay, all right. Well,
Goals, by the way.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Doesn't want to check. All right. So my fears have been allayed. We are.
What's a pass mark? I think 6 is a pass mark.
Oh, look, I'd be happy with 4, to be honest. Brisbane's a bit... Brisbane, Jesus Christ. Melbourne's a bit funny at the moment because they look like they would turn the corner, but then I feel like they've they zigged and now I think they've zagged again. So I think Cozzy Pickett's probably their only real weapon up forward at the moment. Is that fair to say? Because Fritter's doing sweet FA. Harrison Petty, Dad, the Machino reckons he's maybe out with concussion. Who else is kicking goals in the unit? They've got a bunch of young guys that are going to take another 3 years to mature. So, unless Petrarca's kicking 3 or 4 from the midfield...
Well, now you're making me nervous because all those stats...
Melbourne team to be playing the Crows, and that's why you don't need to be concerned about it.
So, are we making any changes to the team this week?
we spoke about Saligo having a week off, I wouldn't think there's going to be any other knee jerks.
Murphy stays in the team because there's still
No.
a bit around him, but
No, him out, Draper in.
I don't know that Draper's the one that comes in.
He played a great game on Saturday.
Did he though?
Yes, he
Did he?
did.
How great are we talking?
He was pretty good.
Pretty good. I don't know, Michael. I think.
No, just-
Hang on, let me just check because I reckon I'm just going to quickly jump in.
Yeah, but it just doesn't matter. He's better than Murphy.
I don't disagree.
So it's just
It was an absolute romping. We flogged the crap out of North Adelaide, yeah. North Adelaide. All right, so the leading possession getter was actually Jimmy Borlase at 23. Schomburg had 23. Scholl had 23. Billy Dowling had 20 and 1 goal too. Nankervis had 20 and 3 goals. Sid Draper had 18.
oh, I want to see Nate getting back in at one point too.
So they were playing... actually, you know who might come back in, Dylan? In place of Lockie Murphy, because... and I can't remember who was saying it. Who's the SNFL coach again?
Right.
Right. So it might have been Matty Wright. And I think they were saying because with Zach Taylor at the moment, he's not going to get back into the league team or the AFL team through the midfield. They played him as an out-and-out forward, and he kicked 4 goals off 15 possessions. So he's quite possibly the one that might come in for a Murphy type if Murphy's out.
Can I say something a bit silly?
Not at all.
It's in the same vein of what Jill said about giving Saligo some time in the Sandful. Are we getting to the point where we need to just start getting some games into some other boys?
Yes.
Right?
Edwards.
Because
Dowling.
all those boys you just ruled out then.
Yep.
We've seen the Crows historically in the past rock up to finals time. It all goes to shit because they've got people are just out of form, and you've got blokes in the Sandful who just haven't played.
Yeah.
I'm quite tempted to start getting some games into some more of the Sandful side.
Yeah.
So you've got a fit, ready to go list.
Yeah, and it is tricky because you've got, like I said, Schomburg, Scholl, Chase Jones.
Have we forgotten about Scholl?
A little bit. But you know, when you got Dan Kern on one wing now, and you got Isaac Cummings holding up the other, he's not going to get a look in, sadly.
So
Because Dan Curtin's found his spot, and he's bloody good at it.
Yeah, I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Funny, and of all the players that are in that side,
Yep.
Scholl's the one that has probably played more games than any of them at AFL level.
And I'll be honest, I'm disappointed Dowling hasn't had another opportunity.
well, they will. All those boys will play against West Coast.
Because I think for Charlie Edwards, it wasn't his best game on the weekend. He only had the 15 disposals. The other one too is...
Well, they all should play against West Coast.
Yeah, correct.
I'm not just taking the mickey. They need to get players ready to go.
Yeah, they do.
One falls over, someone needs to be ready to come up.
Yeah, I think you've got like Nankervis could come back into the team and play a role quite possibly. The other forgotten man too, Braden Cook.
Yeah, Cookie's he's not come back.
Nah, I was hot on him for a couple of years there because he looked like he was big, decent kick of the ball, could kick a goal, and he just hadn't amounted to too much, unfortunately. So I'm a bit worried for him.
I didn't watch the game by any means, but we should be really concerned with Draper.
Oh, first season though, he'll be right.
Yeah, I think you should be playing a bit better in the Sample though. I didn't watch the game again, right?
Yeah.
But when I look at it, I don't see that as someone who's set it alight.
No, but he has some other games though. He's had some 26 disposal games and that sort of stuff. So
Is 3 clearances enough at Sample level though?
depends how they. Oh, possibly not, but depends how they're playing him as well. It's an uneducated opinion because I haven't seen the game either, so I'm not really sure. But I reckon he's vying for a bit of midfield time with the likes of your Schomburgs, your Chase Joneses, your Lockie Murphys when he's playing twos. He was playing midfield time, which is stupid, but that's what we're doing apparently. So yeah, I don't know. I have to see sort of his time on Graham and how and.
I'd like to get Rob to have a week off too and play Lockie McAndrew.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I think now Strawny's back. Strawny's back now. He must have played up forward because he kicked 4 goals on the weekend too. So. Yeah, Kieran Kieran Strawn, he was a ruckman that got delisted.
No, he's
was
back
he?
on the list.
Yeah, he was
It's
playing
stunning.
SANFL game.
Stunning.
So,
Must have had a quick recovery.
yeah, indeed. All right. Well, should we have a look at the tips for this week, and then we'll wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
All right. So here we go. Thursday night, we got that absolute blockbuster that Dylan set up earlier. We've got North Melbourne versus Western Bulldogs. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Absolutely. This is the game where Darcy probably kicks 8.
I was going to say, Dylan, how many goals for Darcy?
Yeah, 8 minimum.
8 goals,
Or
Jesus.
12 for mine.
Now, it's funny, Dylan, because I'm pretty sure, I've got to check your chocolate bet, but I reckon you had him down as a Coleman medalist this year.
I did, but he also missed a shitload of weeks, so that's going to hurt me. But where is he on the list?
That's what I'm just looking at now, because I'll tell you what, the game of the AFL game is in good hands when you look at the likes of Darcy coming through. We got our own Riley Thilthorpe coming through. There's some legit, awesome young talented forwards coming through. That's just gonna, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to find him.
He's 25, so he's got 25. Cameron's on 48, so you're not catching him.
25 is he?
Yeah.
As I scroll past him, yeah, right. The other one too, Mitch Georgiadis. Now I've been talking about him for a few years too, because he's another super talent, and I know he's getting a lot of the ball because he's the only tool forward the Port have at the moment. But holy shit, man, he's kicking some bags recently as well. All right, so then we got the massive doubleheader Friday night. So we got Carlton versus Collingwood, and that's a scary thought. How much is Collingwood going to win by?
119.
It's not looking good, is it? And then that's followed up by West Coast versus the Giants at Optus.
Can't wait for that one.
Mate, that's going to be a real humdinger.
No one ever.
Jesus.
That'll be a Giants and a canter, I think. I think West Coast have had their game, and they'll get pants this week.
I reckon they got one more in them. I don't know when it will be.
Yeah, not this week, I don't think.
No.
No. Essendon versus the Gold Coast Suns at Marvel.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's Gold Coast, surely.
Yeah, they need to.
Because Essendon are rubbish. Essendon, I don't know what's going on with Essendon.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They stink. Don't like them.
Yeah, I think the Suns.
And sadly, this
Suns will turn them around.
is a pretty shit week in football, actually, when you look at this.
Actually.
Because that's followed up by Geelong versus Richmond at Alphabet Stadium. I mean, there's a good chance that Geelong go on to win that game, win it by 30 goals. Like,
I agree. Yeah.
now, hopefully, this could be... Actually, no, I don't even think this will be a good game. Brisbane versus Port at the Gabba. Surely Brisbane get that done.
Brisbane will destroy
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
I am picking Brisbane.
Yeah.
But if all the results go as we predict,
Yeah.
it's not the worst thing if Port don't happen to not lose.
I'm with you. However, because Carr's at the wheel now, and he is, I hope they go there and just get the shit shredded out.
Yeah, and I believe they
Because
will.
the win against Carlton means nothing. You know,
Yeah.
it means
No,
shit.
and
No, it doesn't. It means
What's-
nothing at all.
they've won in the past couple of weeks, but everyone above them won, so that they've made zero inroads.
Yeah.
So if
No,
they
I
were
think
to not lose,
Yeah.
and your Freo and Giants and Gold Coast win, which
Yeah.
they all should do,
Yep.
means nothing.
No.
And eventually, the weight of numbers, you just cannot catch up.
I feel like this could be one of those weeks where I need a tweet out to Swampy, says Swamp Thing, and say, I want to know what round, like what's the most point, like differential, points differential in a round? Because seriously, there could seriously be some huge floggings this round, and it could be up there as one of the worst. So then we've got St Kilda Hawthorn. I was going to say, I was nearly about to say this could be a good game, but I really don't think. I think the Hawthorn are going to just pants St Kilda as well at Marvel.
Yeah.
Because St Kilda
I
are...
don't think so. I think being at Marvel is a bit of a neutraliser, to be honest.
You reckon?
I'm picking Hawthorn.
St Kilda are shit.
It wouldn't surprise me. They will just pull them down.
Possibly. Ross Lyon plays that dirty Dyer sort of style of game. But Hawthorn have also got the ability. I think, because they you called them early, and then they kind of looked like they were shitting the bed a bit, but they're actually turned their form around. They're actually looking pretty
Turn it around.
potent again.
Yeah.
So,
This
so
is probably the most interesting game of the round.
yeah, 100%. Let's say this is probably game of the round. Sydney versus Fremantle on the SCG. Who would have? Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Sydney Freo could be game of the round?
At the sandpit.
Yep.
Yeah, at the sandpit. Yeah, let's see if there's any ankles or knees that go this weekend because the ground is in a dire
You know
state.
what? This is the upset. Freo win.
Yeah, okay. Gee, I'll tell you what, that would be an upset.
Is Freo winning an upset?
Yeah, I reckon Sydney look bloody good. Now they're getting their team back. Papley's back. They've got Gordon back. How good is Gordon?
Yeah.
Like seriously,
Yeah.
his foot skills are utterly incredible.
Yeah.
Man, oh man,
And then the one that counts the most.
that's it. We got our boys versus the D's. We're all taking the tricolours. Michael, you said 7 to 12 goals. I'm happy with a 4 to 5 goal win. Dylan.
Nah, for me it's minimum 8, or it's a big disappointment.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
We've forgotten one of the most important moments.
What?
Now, it was on the socials last night.
Yeah.
Where's Matt going to be?
Oh, I forgot about this. I feel like it's been a good month or so since we've been home, Michael.
It
It's
has.
exciting. It needs to be riveting. I want to be thrilled. It's after the bye. We haven't been at home in a little while. He better be somewhere good.
I mean, we're not expecting fireworks like we had
No.
for the Brisbane game, but
He's going to come out from a chopper.
it's going to run, get to the chopper.
Are we talking James Bond and the Queen style?
We need to ask Matt. When is he going to be like do the old what was that wrestler the blue meanie deal when when's he going to strap himself to like a high wire and just come play the saxophone and he comes zip lining down from the river straight down to the goal square on the other end or something.
When?
Goodness me. I reckon. So here we go. Melbourne. No, I reckon he's going to be. Has he done the Rashudo? Has he stood right above the Rashudo stand? The Rashudo name?
I think so.
Has he done the
He's
Rashudo?
been above you. He's been up there.
When is he going to
The Western stand, boys.
Western
I think
stand?
he's going to go back to Riverbank, yeah.
You reckon Riverbank?
Yeah.
Well, I called it before. He hasn't been sitting above the. I want to sit him above the chapel. Now that cricket's back and we flogged the West Indies in the last week. Thank goodness. Actually, speaking of West Indies, Travis Head, great job, 250s.
Go support, we don't care.
Oh, that's disappointing. I still love him. I still love you. We all love Head. Come on now. I reckon he's going to be sitting above the chapel stand.
Okay.
You know that's going to make the Crover quotes this week, don't you?
This is why we tick explicit content. It's not my fault.
What? Travis is amazing.
Stop it.
We all love Head.
Okay.
All right, boys. I think we said everything that needs to be said. Maybe a little bit more. I know I've been on fire tonight. I apologise. All right, Michael.
Dylan, are you even still there?
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
Not sure if the screen just froze then. All right.
Jared was showing you a visual. You may not have seen it.
All right. Well, boys. Let's get down to Adelaide Oval. We're going to back the boys in. They're going to Dilsey. They're going to smash the D's.
We're going to smash the D.
Yes. Just quietly, boys. Sitting third on the ladder. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Big 6 weeks coming up, but we're sitting third on the ladder.
Feels good.
It does feel good. It's a nice change.
It's great looking down at the wankers. From down
Stop
the
it.
I can't even see them in the top 8. Where are they?
Stop it.
Wankers.
All right. Well, boys, let's get that infection spreading.
All good.
Harry, take us out.
All good. Night all.
Night all.